Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, let's talk about letting go of toxic people. Okay, letting go of toxic people. All right, before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. I really appreciate you being here. And I hope that I can say something in this message that can help to improve your life. Now, on this channel, I've started answering your questions. So if you have questions that you'd like for me to answer, at the end of this video, I will leave a link where you can send your questions. Okay? So now I received a letter that inspired the video of today. And for those of you who send letters, let me explain something to you. I have been trying to let you know when the response to your letter will appear in a video. Now, some folks are getting confused because the video may be titled something different for your letter, but you got an email from me saying that your response is being discussed in this particular video. Don't be thrown by the title. Just watch the video and you'll see me respond to your letter. Okay, I don't want you to get confused with that. All right, just to make it clear. All right, so let's go to this letter. This is about toxic parents and what to do. My siblings are done with my mom. She doesn't respect boundaries. Always has to have the last word. Treats everyone with the same disregard. But she can also be helpful and supportive. The things that really wear on my siblings are she just as a mean streak and belittles and demeans. One sibling has a weight problem. Mind you, it's been 20 years. Okay, when the sibling was in her 20s and 30s, to let her figure it out and that the rejection of being called lazy and constantly being harassed wasn't helping her. Okay, so now in her 40s, she's still being harassed. I guess the mother is still harassing her about her weight now that she's in her 40s. The sibling actually had hired a personal trainer, joined a gym, and tried every diet, but food has been her addiction. So I'm the only one left, and it's rough because mom tries to get me to send messages to them about what book they should be reading and get their lives right, or why have they cut her off. It's so draining. Yeah, so you're the only one that's left to deal with mom because of other siblings don't want anything to do with her. Okay? I too have issues with her belittling and talking down to me. It's soul crushing. And I told her, and she said, well, I don't understand. And I said, obviously you don't, and you never will. Okay, she's lost friends. People like family barely interact with her. Someone mentioned to me that she may have a disorder. Well, even if she does, what should I do? All the brands are grown except mine, and she's kind to them, and I do stop her when she starts her supple attacks. It looks like your mother is toxic. Okay, now you probably want to know how to deal with your mother. You see, you're grown and you have children, and you would like, I guess you would like for your mother to be in your children's life. Okay? But she's toxic. So you cannot change her. She's going to be who she is. Now you say that you stop her whenever she starts her little attacks. But the thing about it is, if your children are around her, you can't always be there. You can't always be checking your mom. She is who she is, and she's going to be that. You see? So it's really up to you whether you want to keep engaging with your mom or not. You got free will. It's really up to you. But your mom is who she is, and you can't change that. You understand? But you can decide what you will accept and what you won't accept. You've already tried talking to your mom, and from the letter, it looks like it has not helped. You see? So you can see from there that she's not going to change. Now, you want her to be close to the grandkids, and the siblings, they're gone. They're done with it. But it sounds like you want her to be around your kids. Okay? And if that's the case, I suggest you don't leave them alone with her. Especially if you feel like you have to keep checking her when she starts those attacks. You see? Now, I don't know how young your children are, but if they are very young and she's attacking them about certain things, it can really damage them psychologically. It can damage them if they're very young children. So, my advice on this one is if you want your mother to be in your life and your children's life, then you be with her. You supervise the visits, is what I'm saying. Whenever your mother is around your children, you need to be there to see what's going on and what she's saying. You see, because the older that she gets, after a while, it's just gonna because she's giving you what she has inside. And apparently it's toxicity. That's all she's got to give. You see? And you say sometimes she's nice and supportive, which is great. But I guess many times she's not, or your siblings would still be around. And since they have left, and you're the only one left, they did what's best for them. Let go of toxic people. They will ruin your life. They'll bring you so much unhappiness, and you'll get so wrapped up in it. After a while, you won't see your own way out of it. You feel like you're stuck with it. Basically, because it's your mother. You understand? It's your mother. Now, I don't know if you're the one that needs to take care of her or what the situation is. It didn't sound like it. It just sounds like that she's a toxic person. She's run off all the siblings, and you're the last one left. That's what it looked like to me. So if your mother is standing on her own 2 feet, I say, don't engage with her. And then I thought I saw another letter from this same young lady about the mother and the father being toxic. You see, if your mother and your father is toxic, you need to make some space from you, your family, and them. I mean, you can visit them on occasion or whatever you're doing, but I would not be that close to it, because it will affect you and your family by the things they say, the things they do, and the energy that they're producing. It's negative and destructive. You don't want your family around that. You have to, in a way, let go. And because they're your people, you don't want to cut them off completely, say you're never going to see them again. But when you're with them, maybe you make your visits a little brief. A little brief. And let them see the kids, and then go on about your business. You see? But as far as you are getting the siblings back on board, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And it looks like they left because she's toxic, and they did it for their own well-being, which is a good thing. And you need to look at your own well-being too. Because you don't want this negativity to ruin your life or your kids' life. You understand? Just because they're your parents, you don't allow them to destroy you. So I hope that you understand what I'm telling you on this. Let go of toxic people. You can't change them. They are who they are. They will have to decide they don't want to be toxic anymore and heal from that. You understand? And if you have been abused by a toxic person, you may need to heal too. You may need to heal. So take a long, hard look at your situation and decide what it is that you really want. Realizing that you will never change your mother or your father. They are who they are. Now you can decide what type of person you're going to be coming out of that. And you want to be the best version of yourself to raise your children in positive energy. You see, you need to protect them so that they can grow up in a healthy environment and not around toxic people. So yeah, my advice is to follow your siblings, you see, and not be so closely engaged with toxic people. Okay? I hope that helps you. So let's go on to the next one. This is titled Left Behind. Okay. My mother-in-law is worried about my husband. Her son is feeling a sense of being left behind. Because I'm advancing in my life and leveling up, as well as surrounding myself with up and coming well-to-do women, and I'm getting recognized as well as recognition from all over the world in my own community. That's fantastic. I recently crossed over into a sorority, and we had a probate show, and my husband was just lost as he was looking at me performing. He just couldn't believe it. He looked like he lost his puppy. He doesn't want me to do anything but surround myself with him only. Most husbands just want that. That's most husbands. They want it all to be about them. Okay? When he gets mad, he threatens me he's going to leave me alone because I want more out of life and do more. So he's feeling like that book, Who Stole My Cheese. Okay, I don't know the book, but I guess it's a funny book. All right? I want the good life, and I give back to the community as well. I need some good advice. Help me. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm going to tell you. Women, don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody stop you from getting to the top. That's what you want to do. You want to do. You want to be the best you can be. Don't allow your man, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your friend, nobody to hold you back. Nobody. You know? With him, it's free will. He can hang in there with you or not. Now, yeah, his mother, she thinks you're going to outgrow him. And if he doesn't grow along with you, you will. You will outgrow him. You see? And in some of these cases, women decide that, the man does not measure up to them anymore once they progress. And this is what the mother-in-law is afraid of. If your husband is concerned, his best bet is to work on himself, not to try to hold you back. Some people out here are just lazy, or they they feel like they have come to the end of their road. They don't have anything else left. Wherever they are is where they're going to be. That's it. Now, in this case, it's really up to you. Remember, you got free will. You see? Now, I'm going to tell you to be the best you can be and never stop. And never let anybody stop you. But, look at this. You're married. You are married. You see? And this could affect your marriage. You see? So, you decide what's more important to you. You know what I'm going to say. What would be more important to me is to achieve my goals, my dreams, and my desires. And I wouldn't worry about him. I let him, be whatever he gonna be, and that's it. You see? You may be very big in your field, and he may not progress. You understand? And you may still love him where he is, and he needs to be okay with that. You can still be happy, Men who have women that have made it big in something, whatever it is. There are some men who are very supportive when this comes along. They will help to push you and give you encouragement and be there for you. There are some men that will do that. But on the other side, there are some men who want you to stay where they found you. They don't want you to be any more than how they found you, because they are threatened by your success. They're threatened by it. Because remember, the man wants to be king. He wants to be king. And he knows that it costs to be the boss. So if he can't pay the bill and you understand, you're making a whole lot more than he's making, it's threatening to a lot of men. It's threatening. You understand? Especially if his ego is that big. His ego. If his ego was that big, he would do everything to stop you. Everything to stop you. But from the letter, it doesn't look like that your husband is really doing anything to stop you. Yeah, I don't know why he was looking threatening just because that you joined your sorority or whatever. I don't understand why he was looking funny about that unless he had already spoken to you about it. Maybe he didn't want you to join a sorority. Maybe he felt like with you doing all these activities, you won't have time for him. But anyway, because I think it would be a good time for you and your husband to sit down together and really put your cards on the table. Everything. Talk about where you're going with your desires, what it is, what's your goals, where is this going? And then he can talk about his concerns about the whole operation. And you can come to some kind of meeting of the minds. Not your mother-in-law. She's not in this marriage. Just you and your husband. You see? You and your husband sit down and work it out together. And then, if he's agreeable, you can just go as far as you want to go. You see? And that's what you want. Yeah, I'm hoping that your husband would be supportive and agreeable. But if you get some blowback, then remember, you got free will. You decide what you want to do. But I'm going to tell you, if you decide to, from this letter, I don't think you will. From this letter, I think you're going to go forward. But for those of you women who are looking at this situation, and you may decide, no, I'm gonna be with my husband. My goals are not important because he said he gonna take care of me and he gonna do this and he gonna do that, and I don't have to worry about a thing. I think that would be the wrong decision for you to throw your dreams away, which a lot of women do, to save their marriage. I think it's a mistake to do that, because if you do that for the rest of your life, you're going to be thinking, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. You understand? And you don't know how it's going to turn out with him and the finances or whatever, the living or whatever. That's why I say, don't stop your dream. Whatever it is, you go for it, full force, and don't allow anyone to discourage you or stop you from it. I know I've been in situations where I've had several businesses, and every mate that I was with trying to get a business off the ground, they had a problem with it. It had nothing with them. They weren't putting money into it or time into it or anything. It was just the fact that it was a threat. A threat. Because when you have your own, it's power. It's power. And the man knows that. That's why it's threatening to him. You understand? Because now you have power and you have something to say. You don't feel the need to submit to him. You understand? You can look him in his eye and talk to him toe to toe about whatever arises. You're not going on with your head down and, creeping up to him and asking him for whatever you need and all that kind of... No. You want to have your own. Always. So, kudos to you. You keep going and never stop. Okay? All right. Now, let's see if we can get to another letter here. Okay. I went on a couple of dates with one older divorced man, and it all went pretty well. He is 58 and I'm 35. Okay, there's a 20-year difference here. He has 3 kids from a previous marriage and wants to marry again and have kids. Wow. Okay, I guess he can afford it. I am at that age in life when I am seriously thinking about having my own family. One of the most important reasons I have even entered this relationship is because he lives in London and I am a graduate internal student at one UK university and would love to move there and have my kids there. So now wait a minute right here. You saying that one of the most important reasons that you would get into a relationship with this man is because he lives in London? And you want to have you want your kids to be born in London? I don't understand what the man's got to do with that. I don't understand, what the man has got. Why would you go into a relationship with a man who's been previously married? He's got 3 kids. 3. That means he's supporting 3 kids. Okay? And you think the most important reason to even be in a relationship with him is because he lives in London. Okay, let me read some more of this and see if it becomes a little more clearer. Okay. However, there are some red flags. I think we already looked at a red flag. However, there are some red flags. He speaks badly of his previous wife in terms of how ungrateful she was and so on. His 2 younger kids live with her in Europe. All men got something bad to say about their ex. Come on. You can't believe what these men telling you. All men. I have not met one man who would say, and being divorced from the wife, going to say, oh, yeah, she was a lovely woman. It just didn't work out. I married her. Yeah. They all going to make the woman sound like the villain. So if I were you, I would not, I would take that with a grain of salt. Okay. In one relatively poor country, whereas his oldest son lives with him. Okay, his wife lives in some relatively poor country, but and I guess the two younger kids live with her in Europe. Okay, and his oldest son lives with him in London, which he is still paying for. He has a loan and is in debt for that apartment, which he has left in a beneficiary fund for his son. Okay, so the apartment that he lives in, he's leaving it to his son. All right. On the other hand, I have no baggage, no kids, no loan, no potentially disputable matters in terms of my own inheritance, your house, apartment, etc., but in my homeland, not in the UK. Okay, you didn't say where your homeland was, but you got your eyes set on the UK. All right? And I am very much afraid of ending as collateral damage in this relationship. It looks like that's what you're headed for, if you ask me. It looks like that's what you're headed for, to be collateral damage. My interest is to get a UK passport, but potentially divorce from this man could be bad for me, and I may end up being a nurse to an older man, which even is not a problem. Okay, you're saying you're saying that potential divorce. It looks like you just want to get to the UK, and it looks like that you're willing to hook up with just about any man to do that. I don't see anything that you're saying is special about this particular man. You see? The real problem is that I do not want to inherit potential lawsuits over his debt from his kids or his sisters. I mean, there are 5 of them. He can't be having great relations with all of them, and he is quite reserved when I ask about it. My plan was to live in his apartment, get a citizenship, and give birth to a child there and save on rental costs. It's easier to split in 2, but I can't get rid of this fear that I explained. Am I being unreasonable? He is a man I noticed raised as a sultan among 5 sisters. So I guess you mean that because he was the only male with 5 sisters, that he was like spoiled, he was special. You understand that they all kind of gloated over him. I guess that's what you mean. His sisters cared for his parents while he was abroad. I think they resent him for the fact that he did not offer room for any of his sisters' children to attend university in London. All of it is quite a secret to me. Plus, I noticed that in the background, he likes submissive women, as if he is in his prime. I mean, he is soon to retire at 65 and has this loan, so how does he even imagine that? Plus, I'm supposed to live in the same apartment with his son. Miss Faye, did I miss my life opportunity, or I actually saved myself some time? Okay. Number 1, you can't believe what he says about his wife. That's number 1. He's living with his son in an apartment. You want to stay in London. You want to move all of your whatever to London. That's your main objective from what I see in the letter, that you want to live in London. Now, you figure like you'll hook up with this man, like you say, hook up with him and have a child. You want to have your kids in London. But what is it about this man that makes you want to be with him? You didn't say in this letter that you love the man or you You cared about the man. You complained about, his sisters and, his son and his living arrangement and all of that. But I don't understand what's that got to do with you. You have free will. You didn't say you don't have to move in with this man. If you want to live in London and you've gone to the university, so why don't you get your paperwork done and move to London yourself? Why do you need this man to move to London? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you want to have a child. Why did you choose this man to have a child with? He's already got 3 and you don't have any. That's kind of a mistake and a red flag in itself. You understand? Just because his girls are off living in Europe with his ex-wife doesn't mean that they may come back and want to be with their dad. You don't know what that situation is. And then plus you say, are you supposed to live in an apartment with him and his son? Well, if he decides he wants to live with you, it looks like, yeah, that's the situation. It's really up to you. But, ladies, I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a young girl, I always wanted to live in New York City. I was born in the Carolinas, but as a kid, I used to see in the magazine, New York City. This is where I want to live, okay? So, as it turns out, my last year in high school, my father was transferred to New York. And, oh gosh, I'm going to live in the city. No, he went to upstate New York. My dad moved to Albany, New York, which is 5 hours away or so from the city. Okay, so I wasn't in the city. I went to college further upstate New York. But then my heart always wanted to be in the city. Now, I didn't really know anybody in the city. You understand? And I wasn't trying to hook up with a man to go to the city. I put my resources together. As a matter of fact, I found me a job in the city. And the lady said, if you can get here, you got the job. That's how I moved to the city. I moved to the city. And I wasn't by myself. I had kids then. Me and my kids moved to the city and started our lives in the city. You understand? I did it on my own. And you can too. You don't need to run out here and hook up with somebody because they happen to live where you would like to live. You understand? Now, if you love this man, you didn't say it. You just said that, that you went on a couple of dates. You don't even know this man. You don't know him. And already you talk about moving in and if you're going to live with him and his son, and you're going way too fast. Way too fast. Apparently, you don't want to go back to your homeland. You want to stay in the UK. That's why it seems like it's such a rush to be with this man. It's a mistake. It will be a mistake, and you will pay for it if you do this. You don't know this man, and I don't see in the letter where the man has even asked you to stay and to move in with him or to have a baby. Let me see. Oh, he wants to marry again and have kids, but you ain't saying in the letter that he wanted to marry you and have kids. And why would you want to marry a man who's divorced, talks bad about his ex-wife, who he says lives in a very poor part of Europe somewhere? And if she's living in a very poor part of Europe, he's not helping. And she's got 2 of the kids with her. And he took one with him. You understand? Now, look. This is a bad idea. You don't have any kids, you don't need to marry a man that's got kids. Plain and simple. Now, let this man go. And if you truly want to live in London, then you pull your resources together and you go to London on your own. You're only 35. 35. I was over. And as a matter of fact, I think I was about that age when I moved to the city. Around the same age. 35, you're young. Don't hook up with this older man. No. Pull your resources together. Or find you a job. You're going to the university. Find you a job at the university. You see? And then you got a job to stay in the UK. Then you can get your papers together so you can stay there. You see? And then you may meet the best mate for you. Not him. Someone else will come. A more suitable partner will appear once you get yourself settled. You understand? But no, this is a bad idea. You don't hook up with a man because he lives in a town where you want to live. No, don't do it. Okay. All right, to wind it up, we got a real short one here. And let's go here. It has been nearly 1.5 years since I broke up with my narcissistic ex. And you know narcissists are extremely toxic people. And he has returned with a vengeance. For the past 6 months, he has called, left voice messages, came to my apartment, pecking on my window, and sent texts in order to get my attention. He wants us to get back together. I have been in peace with my life and I love it here. My question to you is, what should or could I do about this man disturbing my peace? I feel like I'm being harassed. You are. You are. And I am becoming annoyed and irritated. I plan on moving in the near future, but until then, I don't know what to do. I have never been in a situation like this. Okay. Now, the narcissist. I did do a video on never take the narcissist back. So you never want to take it back and from your letter, it looks like you know that. And he is toxic. What he's wanting to do, he'll come back and do you worse than he did before. But the thing about it is, his ego is making him go for it because you rejected him. You see? So you broke up with the narcissist and now he wants to get back at you. See, he wants you to take him back so he can come in and hurt you. That's what it's all about. It's about his ego. He wants revenge. You see? And that's why he's going through all these changes. You know, have you sent him a text and told him, you know, you don't want to be bothered with him anymore and don't try to contact you anymore? You need to be plain with him and then block him. But you need to send him a text and let him know that you no longer want to be involved with him, period. You see? And hopefully that would do it. But yeah, he wants to come back to you because he wants to hurt you. You know, you broke up with him and he wants a chance to explain himself and all of that. You know, I will tell you, I know how this feels. I know how this feels because I have one after me too. Same thing. But I blocked him. I told him it was over. I'm not interested. But still, that ego, that demon wants to hurt you because Their ego was hurt that you left them. You understand? That's all it is. The narcissist doesn't care about you. He wants to hurt you. And mine does too. So I can empathize with this, and I know how it feels, but try to be clear with him. Try to be clear with him that it's over and you're no longer interested in him. And for him to keep contacting you like this, maybe he didn't get the message. Or maybe you just tried to, after you broke it off, you said 1.5 years. And now he wants to return. Well, narcissists want to return. Because whatever supply he was getting from you when he was with you, he wants it now. Maybe his supply is short. You see, that's what they do. A narcissist never really leaves a person. They just recycle you. They just put you over here in a pile, and when supply gets low, they want to come back to you. They always want to keep a door open that they can come back. You see? And this narcissist will probably plead and try to make you feel like, he's changed. Don't even give him an opportunity to tell you all that. Be very clear in the email or the text. You don't want to see him anymore. It's over. And to leave you alone, unless maybe you need to get the authorities involved. You can tell him that. The authorities not going to help you. You can tell him that anyway. Maybe he will stop. But, yeah. Just realizing a narcissist is possessed. It's a person that's possessed with a demonic spirit. And that demonic spirit does not like to leave a supply standing. They mean to destroy every supply that they come in contact with. So if you're still on your feet and functioning and trying to be happy and all that, yeah, they come back. They come back to finish you off, to finish the job. It's the demonic energy in this person that's making them do that. You see? And I tell you, my advice to you, because you're dealing with a demon, and this is spiritual. This is all spiritual energy. You understand? Number one, you want to raise your vibration above this toxicity, above it. And it will provide some protection around you. And maybe this narcissist will kind of go away. My spirituality has put some distance between me and my narcissist. Yeah. They still send a text, but they're blocked. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. You understand? Because spiritually, if you go inside yourself and build yourself up until you don't have any fear about this man, you're not thinking about this man, after a while he'll go away. He'll go on to another supply and worry them to death. It's just that he's back to you because narcissists come back. Narcissists will come back. He wants to speak to you. That's why he's up in your apartment and all that. You see? If you don't respond to him, I think he'll flake off. I really do. Because, like I said, these are demonic energies and they need supply. It's just like the analogy that I use. I always use analogy with them. It's like a vampire. Now, a vampire needs blood to survive. And a narcissist needs your emotions, that energy supply, to survive. So, if he's not getting it from you, which he's back to try to get it from you, if he finds that he cannot get it from you, and you keep rejecting him and blocking him or whatever, He's got to go find his supply somewhere. He can't live on air. He's got to go where he can get supply. So eventually he'll leave you alone. But that doesn't mean that, he may wait another 2 years and try to come back. Because they always keep coming back. Keep coming back. It's the demon in them and the ego that won't let it go. Won't let it go. You understand? They remember what they were getting from you when you were together. And they want more of it. Cut him off. Block him. But send him a text and be plain with him to leave you alone. And I'm telling you, work on yourself. Raise your vibration. You see? Think positive thoughts. And I believe that this narcissist will depart. But do not make a date to meet him or speak to him or anything like that. That would be a mistake, because he'll look at that like a crack in the door that he can weasel his way in. Don't do it. Okay? So I hope that helps, and I hope that you understand that message. Now, this video went through the letters, but in the letters, they're toxic people, and toxic people can make your life miserable. You see? And you need to let go of these people. Let them go and do not re-engage with them. You understand? And I know one of the letters, the first letter, it was her parents. And that's hard to let go, but you got to put some space between you and your parents. You understand? Put some space. Don't see them every day. Maybe just see them on holidays or whatever. But you understand? You don't want to cut your parents off completely. I understand that. But you need some space, and you need to be working on yourself while you are doing that. You understand? So these negative energies don't affect your life. So I hope that I was clear with that. And if any of you have questions that you would like for me to answer, whether through the email or online like this, send your questions to MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. And let me know in your letter. Try to keep it to one page. Okay, try to keep your letter. Just give me a brief summary and your question. Okay, that helps things to just move better. So if you'd like for me to send you an email response, just say it up at the top of the letter. You see? And if not, I may share it online if it's that kind of information that can help others. I will share it online. So if you sent your question and you're wondering when your response is going to come, just keep looking. I try to keep up and let people know when the response is going to air in the video, but I may overlook you. So the best way that you don't miss the response is don't miss any videos. Okay, I upload a new video every day. So just keep up and let me know how you feel about these messages in the comments. Just keep them coming. I'd like to thank those who sent a donation, and I appreciate all of you so very much. Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you next time.